The burial chambers of Egypt once glittered with gold. Pharaohs were laid to rest surrounded by it, believing this metal was divine, the physical form of eternity. Gold does not rust, does not decay, and does not lose its shine even after thousands of years sealed away from the world. Long before modern banking systems existed, humans were already linking gold with permanence, power, and trust. Centuries later, in Lydia, something revolutionary happened. Around 630 BCE, King Croesus began stamping official marks onto electrum coins, a natural mix of gold and silver. For the first time, metal itself carried a government guarantee. Merchants no longer needed to weigh or test every transaction. The stamp meant the coin was exactly what it claimed to be. Money was no longer just metal. It became a promise backed by authority and reputation. That simple idea reshaped global trade. Coins from Lydia moved across trade routes, linking Mesopotamia, Greece, and Phoenician ports. The innovation wasn't metallurgy, it was credibility. When a ruler consistently honored the purity and weight of coins across generations, trust itself became infrastructure. In 312 CE, Constantine the Great introduced the gold solidus, about 4.5 grams of nearly pure gold. What made it extraordinary wasn't just its composition, but its consistency. For nearly 700 years, the Byzantine state maintained its purity. Across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, merchants accepted the solidus without question. During the reign of Justinian I, the empire funded wars, construction, and administration without destroying the value of its currency. That discipline made the coin trusted across continents. Russian traders, Persian merchants, and South Asian buyers all relied on the same gold standard. But trust, once broken, collapses fast. In the 11th century, Byzantine rulers began reducing the gold content of coins. Within decades, purity fell dramatically. Merchants rejected the new currency, demanding older coins instead. 7 centuries of credibility vanished within one generation. The lesson was clear. Monetary trust takes centuries to build and can disappear in decades. By the Middle Ages, Europe entered a commercial revival. In Florence, gold florins became trade currency across Europe. Soon after, Venice introduced the ducat, one of the purest gold coins of the era. Competing mints created a market where honesty was rewarded and debasement punished automatically by trade networks. In 1717, Isaac Newton, serving as master of the Royal Mint, unintentionally set Britain on a gold-based monetary path. His adjustments to coin values effectively linked sterling to gold. Over time, this technical decision shaped global monetary policy. By the 19th century, Britain formally adopted the gold standard. Soon, Germany and most major economies followed. By 1900, nearly every major trading nation except China operated within some form of gold-based monetary system. The idea was simple. Currencies represented fixed quantities of gold. In theory, trade imbalances would correct automatically through gold flows. In reality, central banks often manipulated interest rates and money supply to soften economic shocks. Stability came not from rigid rules, but from discipline within constraints. That system collapsed under the pressure of world wars and economic depression. Countries faced a brutal choice: protect currency stability or protect jobs and growth. Most chose economic flexibility. In 1944, global leaders designed a new system. Currencies would link to the US dollar, and the dollar would remain convertible to gold. This compromise worked for decades, but contained a hidden flaw. Global demand for dollars required the U.S. to run deficits, gradually weakening its gold backing.
In the 1960s, foreign governments held more dollars than the U.S. had gold. In 1965, Charles de Gaulle publicly challenged the system by demanding gold in exchange for French dollar reserves. Confidence began to fracture. Then came the turning point. In August 1971, Richard Nixon ended dollar convertibility into gold. The global monetary system became fully fiat, money backed by government authority rather than physical metal. The consequences appeared quickly. Gold rose from $35 per ounce in 1971 to over $800 by 1980 during inflation and oil crises. When Paul Volcker aggressively raised interest rates to fight inflation, gold prices fell sharply. The pattern became clear. Gold thrives when monetary credibility weakens and struggles when policy discipline is strong. The 21st century brought new waves of uncertainty. After 2001, low interest rates and geopolitical tension pushed gold higher. During the 2008 financial crisis, investors flooded into gold again. In 2020, pandemic-driven money printing pushed prices above $2,000 per ounce. In recent years, gold's rise accelerated further. Central banks, especially in emerging economies, began accumulating gold reserves at record pace. Nations like Russia and India increased holdings, even while many economists publicly dismissed gold as outdated. Today, massive reserves remain stored in places like Fort Knox, symbolizing how deeply gold still sits inside the global financial system. Here is the core paradox. Modern economies no longer use gold as everyday money, yet during every crisis, inflation spikes, wars, financial crashes, investors and governments return to it. Not because gold changed, but because trust in alternatives sometimes weakens. Over 5,000 years, empires have risen and fallen. Currencies have been created, inflated, reformed, and abandoned. Gold remains. Not because it produces income or drives industry at scale. Gold survives because humans built trust around it across thousands of years of consistent performance. Generation after generation, people asked the same simple question when holding a coin. Does this contain what it promises? When the answer stayed yes for centuries, gold became more than a metal. It became a store of collective memory.